Hey everybody, this is Logan Payne, and this is my presentation on how to clean a firearm. So let's get started. So I have a pistol here, it's a Glock 19. We're going to show you how to clean it today. Got a little brush, some patches, a couple Q-tips, one-step solvent, and a bore brush. So the first thing you want to do is you'll make sure your gun is unloaded, make sure there's nothing in the chamber. And then you want to fire the pistol in a safe direction. You're going to cock it back just a little bit. And you pull down on your little pins right here, your slide release pin. And that comes apart. So you have your frame. You'll have your recoil spring. And then your barrel. And the slide itself. So we're going to start on the barrel here. What you want to do is you want to run your bore brush through it a few times. Just kind of back and forth from the ram end first, with the chamber end first. You don't want to go from the end right here. You might nick it. Kind of run it through a few times. Just kind of get some of the fouling out of there. Depending on how dirty the pistol is, depends on how many times you want to run it through. Just kind of however you feel, whatever you prefer. So once you think you got it pretty well kind of cleaned up right there with the fouling out of there, you want to take a patch and run it through as well with a little bit of solvent on it. If I can get that through there. Throw that in. So get the solvent here. Just dab a little on there. And run that through a few times. Really trying to get it clean. This is a tough little job, but be worth it. So you can see there is some debris down in there. The gun is actually relatively clean. Not perfect by all means, but so run that few through times. Really just kind of get it where you like it for now. Then, once you've done that, got it all cleaned out with the solvent, you'll take a few dry patches and run those through as well. You really want to run those through until they come out clean and white with no debris on them. Just toss those off to the side. The barrel is the most important, or one of the most important parts you're going to clean. You do want to take time and attention to everything that you're cleaning. But this one is really important to me. I really like a clean barrel. Another thing you can do is take a little bit of solvent, dab it on here. A little more. You want to clean the outside of the barrel. Make sure it's really clear of all debris. And really just make sure you don't want to have any dirt on it, any grime really. And you don't have to worry about getting it super clean on right now, like getting it dry and everything, because it will evaporate off as the gun is fired. So we'll set this off to the side now. Next, we'll go over to the recoil, or the recoil spring. You just kind of brush that off. This is something that actually gets really dirty and has a lot of action when firing the gun. You don't have to clean it with any solvent. Just get a lot of the debris out of there and the dirt and grime and all the fouling out of there. Next, we can go over to the slide itself. Glock actually recommends that you take your little toothbrush or whatever you have, put a patch over the end of it, and just really kind of scrub down inside of here, kind of getting into the slide rails themselves, and getting all the little debris that gets caught up in the slide rail. Make sure you don't want to have that. Your gun could lock up. Keep that over here. And as you can tell, it is actually quite dirty in the slide rail area for sure. They actually have a little bit of copper down in here. I don't know if you can tell it. That's actually just a lubricant from Glock themselves. And it's actually meant to stay on the gun as long as possible. So there was a little bit. We're going to try to leave it there. It's really just a break-in type oil they put in there for long term. You can also take this Q-tip, this is why I have them, and you run them down the slide rail, really trying to get in there, get all the loose debris you can. As you can tell, we still have some in here as well. You can take a little bit of this solvent, just a little bit, put it on here, and really just take your hand, rub it down in there, get it nice and clean. Don't want to have any debris in there. Nice clean pistol. Another place you have, I guess you can't really see down in there, can you? Anyway, you have your firing pin and extractor down in here. It's right up in here. And you really just want to look at that and you want to scrub this way. That way nothing falls back into the firing pin area. Just scrub that, inspecting it visually here and then. And really just trying to get that clean. You can flip this around, use this little end, and get the extractor as well. Get right behind there. Make sure there's no dirt or buildup in there as well. Really, really clean this area. There's also a part where the barrel sits right at the front of here, and it hits every time. You want to clean that because it will get dirty on you. So I also like to take a patch at the end of this and really just wipe down the outside. Some people use oil, others do not. I like to just get all the little grime that I'm getting from the inside and kind of moving around. It's getting stuck around there, so wipe that all off, and that's good and clean. Next, you can take your frame itself and really just hit all the high points. Hit the locking block, your trigger bar. You want to hit your slide rails in the back as well as the front ones right here, and down in the bottom of the frame itself too. You can get down in your mag well, clean that. People do pick up mags off the ground and they shoot them, and that's when you get dirt and stuff into this magazine well. Take a patch, wipe that down too. Get really just the high points, all little metal areas. You see there's still some stuff left. But really just hit the high points and make sure those are clean. And that'll do it. So if you want to put it back together, you put your barrel in first, your spring next. That sits just right down in there. And then you can take your frame, your slide, put it on your frame, just like that. Gun is unloaded. So once again, I'm Logan Payne, and thank you for watching my video. Have a good one.